Welcome back, guys, to Metaphor ReFantazio, where last episode, with Rella the caster of the curse supposedly awaiting us at the Mage Academy, we set the Gauntlet Runner down from his maiden flight to confront her, leading to a battle against the Saintess and the dragon god of the Ice Valley, Sogne. With the battle concluded, we now witness the aftermath.
Well fought. You truly are strong. Strong enough to fend off a dragon from an age of destruction.
Rella, for His Highness, I will do what I must. Forgive me, but have you any last objections?
As for the crowd I've enchanted, you needn't worry. That was no spell of control. They should have come to their senses a while back now.
Then, your life is now forfeit by my hand.
Has she anything more to say? I'm still listening.
Has she anything more to say?
Sister, please tell me. What happened on that day? I want to know everything.
I was only 12. No child could so easily take a life in cold blood. I was confused, scared. I lost control. And the spell was cast. And so it became a wasting curse. Imperfect. Juna, do you remember how we talked of your dream? To become a singer whose voice could reach everyone in this land. I've changed my destiny through song, you said. You told me that as a Nydia, singing is the only truth you have. As a true-born heiress of the Cygnus family, in my eyes, you were like a shining beacon. You became my dream.
Stop. We're not talking about that. I couldn't do anything for you.
In you, I saw such freedom. I didn't want to lose you. So that day, I kill His Highness. I can't. Have you gone mad?
You do know how House Cygnus earned its position all these years, don't you? Everyone in your family did their part to handle similarly delicate affairs. Your father was no different.
But to murder royalty, surely it's beyond all.
The king has sired an illegitimate mongrel of a boy. Now he's brought him to the castle. If we do not act now, one day we will be bending the knee to an elden king. Moreover, of late, we have another nuisance rearing its head. Luis. An impious little upstart with no respect for the church. But his military merits are getting too great to ignore. Some are even saying he's fit for high command. As the matter stands, we have but one way to deal with both in a single stroke. Dispose of the mongrel prince and place the blame on Luis. Such a maneuver demands someone who can be a match for Luis in magical ability and physical stature. A girl of your intelligence can figure out the rest, I trust. The king's heart falters. He has lost the will to keep the kingdom united. Look upon him and see the face of a man preparing to abdicate. It is amidst dissent and strife when the guiding hand of the church is needed most. And if Sanctism's enemies are not expunged, the nation's order will surely collapse.
Yes, but even so, His Highness the Prince is guilty of nothing. To murder someone innocent, it is an unforgivable atrocity.
If I recall, you have a sister. Unrelated by blood, yet already they speak of her beauty. And a most charming singing voice, yes?
What does Juna have to do with this?
Rella, You are destined to lead your family in due course. Surely it's your responsibility to protect them from the grief of any personal tragedies. Or will you live the rest of your life regretting a single night's lapse of judgment?
I'll do it.
Cygnus is a sullied house. My parents yielded to authority, and only ever measured a person's worth by their magical prowess. I lived in disappointment. And then you entered our family. You became my hope for living. Someone more important than my own life.
Sister.
At the very least, I wanted to protect you. But in the end, I suppose this was the only way I ever managed it.
I see. Saint Rella, the familiarity I felt from you, I finally understand what is unique about your Magla. You live as I once did. As someone who has spent her whole life preparing to die.
When you all greeted me with Luis's formula in hand, I thought my heart might stop at the shock. I had always known someone might come asking one day, but I never thought it would be you, Juna. It felt like fate's hand, dealing my due punishment. That's why I'd kept an eye on you ever since then. To observe this seeker of the throne. This aspirant who possesses the lost power of the archetype. I hoped you could be the one with the power I've been seeking, but I needed to see with my own eyes.
What do you mean?
Luis is more of a threat than you know. Whatever his intentions are, I know he grasps at more than just the crown. After the assault on His Highness, I was made to investigate Luis as a suspect. I touched his hand and read deeply into the flow of his Magla. I'll never forget it. He didn't hesitate at all. I expected to see his aura, but it was more like a vision plunged into my mind, pure and vivid and violent, choking me in its flow. Humans flooding the country. Innocents either fleeing or lost to madness. And amidst the chaos, I saw no throne, no castle. That must be his real vision for the world.
A world overrun by humans? What does this mean? The man has been traveling the country doing little but slaying them, has he not?
I don't know the details. But in the past 10 years, Luis has been clad in that same Magla, unchanging. If he becomes king, I know his vision will come true.
So that's how it is. If you let yourself be killed for the prince's sake, you couldn't guarantee the survivors could stop Luis. That's even why you called that dragon to test us, isn't it? You wanted to see if we had the power to protect this land, and all the meek in it.
And you've proven you can. With that strength, I know you can do what I couldn't. I have no more regrets.
Sister!
Then I will put an end to this at last. For all who deserve the truth, I shall reveal everything.
What are you going to do?
I will speak to the congregation gathered in Alterberry. Indeed, it was for this purpose that I gathered them there.
What? Then that magic you mixed in with your speech, the real reason you linked their minds with yours.
All that's left is to strengthen the magic a bit with the power of this relic. And my words will reach Alterberry. Good people, can you hear my voice? Dearest faithful, can you hear me?
What's going on? There's a voice in my head. A voice? I hear nothing.
I apologize for startling all of you. It is I, Rella Cygnus. Through magic, I speak directly to your minds.
Saint Rella?
Is every Saintess in the city hearing this? Amazing. That's some spell.
We witnessed a boy candidate who claimed to be the prince. To ascertain the truth of his words, I faced him in mutual, voluntary battle. I now see with eyes unclouded. Good people. He is, without a doubt, His Highness the Prince. Now, there is something further you all must know. The truth of His Highness's reported death, and the truth of the attempt on his life. Sanctifex Forden was indeed behind the plot to assassinate His Highness. By this barbaric act, he sought to elevate the Church and put the throne within his own grasp. These revelations are only mine to give, because I was Forden's assassin. It was I who cast the curse upon His Highness. Yet all was not lost. Through all these long years, His Highness has endured the pain, and now walks among his people once more.
Sanctifex Forden was really the mastermind? What am I supposed to believe? Oh, God.
Sanctist faithful! She knows not what she speaks! Close your mind to her! Damn you, Rella! You would not just expose our secrets, but cast them into our people's very heads?
Forden has already paid for his transgressions. As for me, this shall be my final address to you all. For my sins against our nation and its people, and for willingly abetting such atrocities. I will soon join our Sanctifex in the beyond. Yet know this, dear faithful. You need not let your anxieties rule you. I have faced His Highness the Prince myself, and known his heart. His Highness will accept us. With his strength, he will shelter the lost and weak, and stand against Luis in our names. If all of you would believe, our country could be a place where all would thrive under a just king. I pray with all my heart that it will be so.
Saint Rella, was this your plan from the very beginning? Damn it! Cry her or not, I can't let her down. I've got a job to do.
What became of my church? My faith? How can I go on without it? I am lost. I thought myself the unshakable defender of the Sanctus Church. But should it now collapse, I cannot see my path forward. Even I, then. I, too, am one of the weak that Rella fought for.
At last, my role is at an end. Juna, I'm sorry. I only ever meant to protect you, but in the end, you'll have it the hardest.
Sister, please, you... Tell me, what do I do? Basilio, tell me. What do I do?
Lady Juna.
And what happens to the faithful? They'll be crushed. You're their saint. You had just put their hearts at ease. What are you?
I never wanted you to see it, but... Juna, look at this.
What?
What's left of my life is a price already claimed by my own curse. Perhaps it was too cruel to ask for a quicker death at your hands. I leave Juna and this country in your hands.
Rella!
Thank you,
Juna, your life and will was always your own. If only I could have lived with your freedom. I admire you. Please don't let this change you, dear sister. I just wish I'd had more time to watch over you.
Huh? The curse is gone. He's cured.
I see. Which means Rella is...
Damn it! What am I doing? It's just like me and Del. I never wanted her to go through this too.
She did not strive merely to make amends. She was as much a protector as any of us.
You're right. For her family, and for all Sanctism's faithful. Even as it cost her her own life.
Rella knew she was linked by the curse to its victim. Her body paid the price, and she must have known she didn't have much longer.
She really, truly wanted to guide those who looked to her. It wasn't about the church, for her. It was about the people. She was the kind of Saintess others only pretended to be.
I have a feeling that many of her congregation will continue to call her the Saint. I only wish she had lived to see it.
I'm with you there. She was stubborn, fussy, a bit odd, maybe. But she'd drop everything to help someone. And she'd do it with her whole heart in all the filth of that sullied house. She was the one brilliant flower that bloomed. That's who you were. And that's why I loved you, Rella.
I'd rather ask her if she's alright than plod on.
Are you alright?
No. Not in the slightest. But I know wallowing isn't going to fix anything. Rella's given us a lot. Not just the truth about Luis. She's put the entire Sanctis congregation's support behind His Highness the Prince. You.
Indeed. You'll not have the whole nation on your side, but it won't be long before you've taken second place, just behind Luis himself.
Saint Rella saved me. I owe her my life, and I'm not gonna waste it. I'll fight with everything I have, right to the end. Let's do this.
You saved the prince from death's curse after all this time in exchange for Rella's life, though. Which I think is actually a fair trade, considering she was the original perpetrator. Rella, the candidate in second place, has fallen. The believers who stood by her will likely transfer their support to the prince. Rella's shocking news was delivered throughout the country by the crier's message birds, and had even made its way to Grand Trad before the day's end.
Saint Rella was the one who cursed the prince. And to take her own life in the name of atonement. Yet,
Even if she'd lived, she confessed to high treason. She'd have been executed either way. Has all I've believed in been lies?
But didn't you hear the rest? That elder boy's the true prince. He survived. The king's true-born son's risen to take down Luis. It's like a proper myth. I've got to stand with him.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I might have your attention for a moment. We actually received an urgent notice a short while ago. A letter from the candidate Luis. In truth, I wasn't sure if we should read this to the public, but the criers have come to consensus. We must fulfill our duties. If this message is being read,
it means that Rella is dead. And the boy who claims himself the prince has won. Now, only 2 aspirants remain with any real chance at the throne. The boy and myself. To all lessers who remain, lay down your arms and accept defeat with grace. Blind defiance will be met with death. Bare your teeth, and you will die like the dogs you are. The boy, or myself. Only one shall wear the crown.
Sounds like he's throwing down a gauntlet, doesn't it?
We need not wait for the former king's judgment to pass. Let us determine ourselves which of us is fit for rule. My proposal is this. On September the 24th, upon the grounds before the royal capital's Grand Cathedral, we settle this in a contest of single combat. As in our battle at the Opera House, I welcome any weapons, any number of adversaries. Collective power is its own achievement. Either way, you will die by my hand.
Thus ends the letter from candidate Luis.
I knew it! It's a duel.
If Luis emerges the victor, we are surely doomed. I stand with the prince!
Nobody can beat Count Luis! It's high past time he tore that so-called prince limb from limb!
If he beats this Luis person, will he become king?
Will he indeed? Reminds me of what my darling used to say. If you choose to fight, be ready when they fight back. I suppose it had to be this way. You can't fight a man for the throne without cutting a path to it first. Just come back alive. That's all we can hope for.
This defies all reason. What has Rella done? Even in death she finds a way to betray the church and raise that damned wealth.
She always seemed so timid in these chambers. Had she been scheming against us from the beginning?
We're not through yet. We must find a worthy successor and raise yet another candidate to replace Rella.
Yet, what chance do we have of winning now? Can anyone here conceive of someone as capable as Rella in winning the people's hearts? They say that even the monk Captain Godot is stepping down. There is no road forward where a Saintess delegate can take the throne.
Then what path remains?
We must take steps now to ensure that our positions cannot be eliminated, whether by Luis or the boy. Whoever wins, we must gird ourselves.
If Luis has his way, he'd sooner have our heads than our titles.
The methods don't matter as long as we have a plan. There's no going back when our hands are already steeped in blood.
Strange to hear that said without a shred of guilt. But you're right. Survival is what matters now.
I see. Yes, that seems to explain everything. Glad to hear His Highness is all right. Hardly feels real after all the muck we've waded through. But I suppose the fates take as much as they give. And you, my girl, how are you holding up?
I'm all right. My mind's cleared a bit. Sorry. Still got to lie about it. But please don't act any different on my account. She put her trust in me. I can't afford to be weak now. I've a job to do. and I'm going to finish it.
Right. Understood. For now, tempting as it might be, best not to drop everything and make a dash for His Highness.
Indeed. No doubt Luis has his eyes on us, waiting for such indiscretion. We must be patient and confront him face to face.
As it happens, we were rather beaten to the punch. Just earlier, a delivery bird dropped by with urgent news from Old Batlin. Apparently, Luis has thrust us a proper letter of challenge. Says he'll be waiting to face us on September 24th in front of the Grand Cathedral.
Sounds like he wants this settled before an audience. If he's going all in here, maybe he'll finally tip his hand, show his trump card.
Still got a trick up his sleeve, has he?
Luis just doesn't go around hunting humans. He's been doing proper research, trying to figure out their powers and origin for ages. Don't know how much truth there is to it, but I heard he's developed some new magic art of his own. Something dark and secret.
He's forged new magics.
I wasn't convinced when I first heard it. But now I've met you lot and I've seen all this messing about with archetypes. Well, nothing surprises me anymore.
Indeed. Last time, we had the element of surprise, and he was wounded. And we still barely had him. Didn't end up much of a decisive victory over the perfect Count Luis. If we fight the same way we did last time, he'll kill us all. This won't be an easy battle, but we've got to keep our heads up.
We still have a grace period until the day he named. Let us use the time wisely and prepare all we can.
Back at the Alterberry Inn. Well, this is a surprise. Never expect to see your faces back in town. Not many would show up again after angering Master Godot and his monk army like you lot did.
No.
Hey, let's not sweat the details, mate.
Yes.
Saint Rella placed her trust in us. She would see us protect all those in this country, including the Saintess faithful who are still the prince's royal subjects.
Right.
Besides, a coward who flees the city to save his own hide would hardly be worthy of support.
I beg your pardon.
We'd like to prepare for our confrontation before we jump back into the fray in Grand Trad. I apologize for imposing on you again. I see. Well, never fear, I'll not turn you over to the church. Not that the monk army has its sights on you to begin with. Master Godot has buried the hatchet, as it were. Says it'd be pointless to do otherwise. Regardless, I'm sure you're all exhausted after what you've been through.
Right, then.
Please rest well. Everyone's dead tired.
Let's rest.
Anyway, let's rest up. Now that the prince's curse has been lifted, we can't just mope around. Well, we've been through a massive period, you could say. Quests, cutscene, boss fights and more. The story has massively progressed over the last 4 hours and a half or so. Let's read more about Rella before we talk to our guys. Rella Cygnus, a young Ishkir woman and magic healer affiliated with the Crown Theocracy. Magic healer, quotations, speech marks. Her mastery of healing magic is beyond her years. Many call her the best in the kingdom. She was even brought before the king to heal the prince, despite being no more than 12 years old. Healing magic requires delicacy, making it difficult to wield through magic igniters. Thus, magic healers often move in wealthy circles throughout the kingdom. Despite her great abilities, Rella has long served as a healer for the common people in the capital. Her devotion to the public without regard for wealth or fame has led many to respect her, and she is often referred to with the title Saint. The perpetrator of the attack on the prince, the mage who cast the curse placed on him. However, just as the title Saint implies, she sincerely cares for her sister, Juna, and the Sanctus believers.
Hey.
I think her crimes were the reason she helped us. You asked me, even if she'd found me and Dell that day with her conscience clean, she still has saved us. It's just who she is. Never stop worrying about everyone around her, even at the end. We've got to crush Luis, for her sake too. Very daring of him as well. Though Rella was the prince's true assailant, she was but another victim of Forden's schemes. So focused was I upon my own failures, I could not see a foe before my very eyes. My carelessness leaves a bitter taste in my mouth. And we didn't even get to deliver the blow. I've never seen Yuna like that before. She's always been so bright-eyed and cheery-faced. I don't think I can find the words to make her feel better, but I hope being there for her is some comfort. Rella did not deserve such cruelty, then or now. Forcing her to assassinate the prince, even threatening Juna's life to manipulate her. and all the hands of the most virtuous man in the Saintess Church. The truth is worse than the imagination of even the most hardened cynic. I could never justify cursing the prince, yet had I been in Rella's situation, I shouldn't dwell on such fruitless thoughts. We must honor her wishes and settle things with Luis.
Hey.
If I'd never been taken in by the Cygnus family, maybe Rella wouldn't have gone through with it. It's not like me at all to dwell on it. I know we can't change the past, but I can't stop considering all these what-ifs. Well, I guess I'll save again before going to sleep for the night. As we go ever deeper into the story, don't we? Save complete indeed. What will happen as I rest tonight? Because, you've got to wonder what's going to be happening next. Are we actually going to be going around now? I don't even remember how many days have passed since I last got here. Like, how many days has the sequence been? Like 3? I don't even know. It's just been like Dragon Grey Shinjuku amount of time. But still, days have passed versus the rest of one day. Will we finally be able to start building up our follower bonds? After all, we've still got this missing space. Shall I call it a day and sell him for the night yet? Sure thing.
Good night.
Good night. Rest well indeed.